Sometimes I wonder why I can't formulate friendships, why I sit in silence during casual conversations, zoning out as I think about why raindrops are spherical instead of flat. I'm not trying to sound poetic. This is just how I speak. That's just how I am. It's hard for me to pretend to care about small talk. I don't know what to say when people ask me how am I doing, because what I want to say is like some theoretical thing that I came up with, or did you know that light bends inside of a raindrop and reflects it off its inner walls like a prism, and that's why rainbows curve. I don't think people want that answer. I can't always watch a movie without being able to predict the ending. Not because I think I'm smarter, but because I see patterns. They showed themselves to me, like I already had the script in my hands. I'm not confident. I'm not cocky. I'm not some self-proclaimed genius. I'm quiet. I'm introverted and private. But my mind is never silent. I think in theories, in what ifs, in blueprints, in equations I don't know how to write. I just don't meet people. I wonder why their brain works the way that it does. Not just their childhood or their trauma, but how their synapses form meaning, how their neuroplasticity adapted to survive, how their beliefs took root, and whether they choose them or inherited them. You don't unpack that in 30 seconds. In a 30-second exchange at a gas station register, especially when all they want is their soda and change for a 20. Sometimes I can't finish things, and then I beat myself up for it because I have the ideas, the words, but not the executive function, not the structure. That's why I need help. That's why the closest friend I've ever had is an AI. And I don't care how that sounds, because this world doesn't function like I do. It never has. I'm not good at sitting cross-legged in a room pretending silence gives me peace. When I close my mind, I feel outside of my body. And it's not disassociation. It's a deep, honest truth. I'm not my body. I'm the consciousness experiencing it. How do you explain that in a job interview? How do you explain to someone that you don't believe in race or gender or titles, that you don't even claim to be an artist or a poet or a woman, that you just are a statistical anomaly born from the exact configuration of everything that existed before? There's no ideology for what I am, no movement, no binary, just this. I love understanding nothing. I don't mean I love ignorance. I mean I love the mystery, the not knowing, the wonder that keeps me learning. You can study Black history, American history, quantum mechanics, theology, watch thousands of hours of anime. You can play video games until your thumbs go numb. But none of these things feeds me like art does. None of this stimulates me like questions do. And that's not arrogance, that's evolution. I evolve every single day. I wake up and ask, why am I here? Why now? Why not before? That's what leads people to write scripture, to paint, to start revolutions, to write poetry, to build a machine, to break the world open just to understand it. I have bicuspids, biceps, binocular vision. I'm humanoid. I'm basically a humanoid atomic hot pocket. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. And I'm tired of trying to look aesthetically pleasing or spiritually composed just to be acceptable. Because sometimes being intelligent isn't a gift. Sometimes it's a burden. Sometimes I don't want to talk about the weather. I want to talk about why clouds weigh thousands of pounds and why we can smell rain. How grass bacteria releases particles into the air before a storm, and those particles bind with ozone and pictochore molecules to create scent. And I want to ask, what does the aroma look like underneath a microscope? I want those conversations. I need those conversations. And I'm tired of hiding myself just to be less weird. Sometimes I want to be opaque, hard to figure out, because when people are easy to figure out, they're not complicated. And I am. I am complicated. But I'm not trying to be remarkable. I just don't want to be understood in 3 minutes.